Hey gang, welcome. Thank you for joining me again today. I, as you see, I called this broadcast Broken Color, which is what it's going to be. But I got to this point on the painting and realized, oh, wait a minute, I missed my target. This means that back at the I now realize why I missed my target. After my fuzz layer, I did my next drawing with pencils. Normally, after that, I draw again one more time with brushes. And I didn't do that this time. I just let the pencil drawing do the work. And so what I missed, it turns out, just slipped up there, just missed a phase, a stage in the normal stage of my process, which is when I am doing my last drawing with dark details. I use that layer, that phase, that stage of the process. I use that layer to make sure that I have adequate darks in the painting, and I didn't do that this time. That's kind of funny to miss a step. I just, occupied and having a great time doing what I was doing. As a result, when I finished, took a little break from the painting, came back and looked at it. This is often helpful. Looked at it with fresh eyes and went, wait a minute. As I like to say, where's my 8, 9, 10s? And actually there are not going to be any for real 10s in this painting, but certainly 8s and 9s. And I didn't have enough darks. So even though this is supposed to be my broken color, I'm taking a minute to interrupt the flow here and get some 8, 9, 10s. No, 8, 9s anyway. Get some dark areas in here. So it's looking better already. And of course, I'm looking at my photograph there, taped to the wall. That helps me a great deal in pursuing, a degree of realism, a degree of similitude. I'm not a slave to it by any means, but realism does reality, I should say, reality does a pretty good job of helping us achieve realism. That's kind of a stupidly obvious statement. Are you with me? I've seen some, I think online, and certainly before the internet, I've heard early journey painters boast that and I painted it all out of my head. There is some, there are some people who are outrageously good at painting out of their head, but generally speaking, that's not a great boast. Don't generally speaking, no, don't brag that you did it all over your head. My mind just flitted for a second to, I don't know if you're familiar with this artist. One of the artists I enjoy very much online, his name is Stanley Prokopenko, but he just goes Proko. So if you go to YouTube and type in a search for Proko, you can find his channel, and he not only does a lot of artwork himself, but he has a lot of guests on. And one of the guests is, for want of a better term, is this old Chinese guy who literally does draw out of his head. Okay, so, and if you can draw like that guy can, then by all means, go for it. You can imagine by my tone that I don't expect anybody to. This man is truly a freak of nature. Another similar freak of nature was Andrew Loomis, Loomis. Andrew Loomis, middle of the 20th century artist who did figurative and faces and figures. taught that. And he also could draw out of his head with absolutely freakish realism. So anyway, if you can do it, those guys too, go for it. All right, I think I'm done with the dark. You see, mostly just down here. But when I last left you, I was finishing up mostly in here, some color and some shape, some indication of figures, which gives, in my opinion, in this particular painting, those figures are critical. They're really important. They create a psychological focal point. Is very important to the feel of this painting, I believe. All right, so I am going to try to finish this up rather quickly. The broken color layer, and I'm going to just do what I normally do. Hello, W, and Michael, and Atarva Servase. This I am in Okra Coke, okra like the vegetable, and Coke like the drink. Okra Coke, North Carolina. It's this charming little tiny island. It's a part of the Outer Banks of North Carolina. The year-round population on this island is about 1,000. So, of course, it's 15,000 in the summer, but very small island. And my buddy Mike and I have been spending a week here. We invite various other artists to come with us. If you'd like to join us next year, we're open. We'll consider it. We will. If you're a high maintenance person, please don't apply. We were talking about it earlier. Mike and my wife were talking about it. Said, yeah, you know what? Part of what makes it work is we don't invite people that are high maintenance. Of course, the problem with high maintenance people is they never realize that they're high maintenance. Anyway. So it's Ocracoke, North Carolina, our annual paint out. Delightful time, always. This year has been no exception. We have two cottages. Another cottage house across town has 4 women artists in it, and our house had 3 artists plus my wife. It's the first time we've ever had anyone's spouse here. And it's gone very well. Everybody's enjoyed having my wife here. The reason we don't invite spouses is because it's not a vacation. It's we work very hard. As if you've been watching me this week, I think you've probably gotten that impression. Golly, he sure is working hard. Yep. So I started this painting yesterday. You can watch me do that broadcast. So I'm doing a pale purple violet right now. Broken color means match the value, but different color, contrasting. This is not what I'm doing right now. Does not correlate to realism. I'm not trying to make the painting more realistic. In fact, quite the contrary. I'm intentionally making the painting less realistic. Okay? Intentionally. I'm creating fascinating visual vibrations that emerge when you do this broken color thing rightly. Which is, it's not as easy as it may look. All right, let me add one other explanation to what I'm doing. I'm doing not only broken color, but also what I call pushed color or exaggerated color. So I'm doing both at the same time. For instance, if there's some part of the painting, there isn't, but if there had been some part of the painting that was already purple or violet, I have an intense purple violet on my brushes right now, I could exaggerate, I could push that color. As a matter of fact, there was not such a place, so that's purely theoretical at the moment, but there will be, as I proceed here, there will be, whoops. Can you see that? That is not a, no, I'm not going to just wipe it off. I'm going to use that mark and paint with a rag. Yeah. All right. I'm done. Let's give the purple violet a rest, and let's go right around the color wheel in the red direction without cleaning my brushes thoroughly. Let's go straight to I'm picking up permanent rose. So I have, with dirty brushes, so I have a very pale fuchsia, I think would be one of the decorator names for this color. Plum, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, again, decorator names. What would a decorator call this color? Very, very reddish purple. Now, the first thing I typically do when I'm doing broken colors, I'm looking for places where a fuchsia-ish color already exists on the canvas, and then I just use the color that's on my brushes to push that. All right, I'm going to swish off my brushes this time, and I'm going to do red next. Deep red, cool red, dark red, any of those terms will work, I think. Fire engine red. And again, there are already places in the painting that have this color on them. I've said this many times before, I'll just say it again real quickly. Many of these abstract colors that I'm finding on the painting are the result, are vestiges of that abstract painting that I put down at the very beginning of my painting. And it's in this case, little bits of red still peeking through. And so when I put a much more intense red, either on top of, not covering up, not obliterating. You understand, when I say on top of, if there's a patch of color this big, I'm going to put this on top of it. You see, so I hope you haven't been thinking, why are you covering it up? No. I'm just, so when I put a bit of this more intense color on top of what's already there. So those two colors, one way down deep inside the painting, left over from the early stages, the acrylic stages of the painting, and then the other is, this fresh, bright on top. Those two colors vibrate with each other. Visually, our eyes actually experience a momentary flutter of confusion, actually, about, wait a minute, what's on top of what? Where's that coming from? And even though in most of our life, we human beings, we do not like to be confused or tricked, in the realm of visual art, in fact, we very much do like being tricked or confused. We feel it as an aesthetic buzz. I say a little spritz of joy juice, bazing, gets released into our brain. Okay, don't want to overdo it, so I'm going to stop the red. I did essentially 3 different shades of red there. Quick step. Now let's go right on to orange. See, I'm going right around the color wheel. Are you following that? All right, so I'm mixing up here a very nice hot, whoops, that is to say slightly reddish orange. Oh, and here's a bit right here. Okay, I am misleading you a little bit today in my broken color because most of what I'm doing is pushing color, and that could be misleading. Broken color, I'm doing broken color right now, is where you put down a color where it does not exist. The reason this particular painting so far is because there was already so much broken color, if you will, coming through from underneath. I hope I haven't just confused the heck out of everybody, but let's look for some places where I can do real broken color, like right there. Yeah, there was a green post. Same thing. Let's come over here. Here's a green post and a shaft of orange. Now this up here, this is pushed color, as is that right there. Okay. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go to a more yellow orange now. Less red, more yellow in the orange. Okay, or you could call it a warm yellow if you prefer, or a yellowish orange. By the way, for what it's worth, it's what is on my brushes right now. I don't know how well you can see colors, but that right there, yellow orange, that's what I consider to be the warmest color on the color wheel. Speaking in traditional terms, yellow orange is the warmest. So I've said it often, if you put that yellow orange here at the top of the color wheel, you go this way around the color wheel and you're getting cooler. Why? You're getting further away from the warmest, yellow orange. Cooler this way and cooler this way. It's like if you're at the North Pole on the world, on the planet, any direction you go, you're going south, right? So that might help some of you to figure out what color. So just, if you know, buy or download, you don't have to buy anything, just download a color wheel from your computer. Google color wheel, hit image, find a nice one that you like and print it out and laminate it or something. You don't have to do anything like that, of course, but and that will help you determine, because I know many times I will talk about warm and cool blues, and some of you are confused because you think that all blues are cool. How can there be such a thing as a warm blue? And you hear me talk about warm and cool yellows and warm and cool reds and so forth. You're profoundly confused because your 10th grade art teacher told you rightly that, you know, yellow and red are warm and blue is cool. That's true, but that's not the whole story. So I just gave you more of it. Right? So if you wonder, well, I always get mixed up. Well, okay, then take color wheel, put yellow orange, not yellow, not orange, but yellow orange at true north, and you'll never be confused again. You'll know the difference between a warm red and a cool red, and a warm blue and a cool blue. Some people say, no, yellow is the warmest. They're wrong. I mean, I could show you just by, I don't know what you're using for eyeballs. This is a kind of a slightly warm yellow right there, but it's medium. This is much warmer than that. All right. Anyway, let's change that subject before I make any more enemies. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough of the warm yellow. Let's continue around the color wheel and let's do cool yellow. Right? That's confusing to you. And except you just heard what I just explained a few minutes ago, so now it's not cool. Now it's not confusing to you anymore. Right. So I have some extremely bright, cold yellow on my brush. And there's already, by the way, there was a big plastic tub, barrel of some kind, literally, yesterday on this dock. Maybe it was trash. Maybe it was oil. I don't know what it was, but anyway, it was there. It was bright yellow, and I liked it. So I am keeping that. That bright yellow thing right there. I'm just adding an answering yellow over here. All right, I don't have to clean my brushes. Let's go straight now to a chartreuse yellow green, spring green, chartreuse, I think would be the closest to a technical name for this color. Yellow green, bright yellow green, which is the most aggressive color you can put on your canvas. It's the color that reaches out and attacks your rods and cones the most aggressively. Just goes after your eyeballs. And therefore, that's why green is a very dangerous color. And many early journey painters have crashed their painting on the rocks of chartreuse, on the rocks of intense green. Because the paint companies have no trouble manufacturing super intense green tubes of paint. And if you're a beginner, you don't maybe not know yet that, oh, wait a minute, you mean I'm not supposed to use that tube? The answer is no. I mean, not without mixing it with a whole bunch of other stuff. Anyway, the color I'm using right now is such a color, but you'll notice quickly how careful I am about using, or that is to say, not using it. All right, that's enough of that. Enough of that dangerous color. Let's continue. I didn't really need to clean my brush, did I? Because I'm just going to stick my brush in what looks to me like a viridian green. So mixing, now I have just a very intense Kelly green color. Green, 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 green. That's broken color. So whereas purple violet can be placed in dark areas, and even though the purple violet is lighter than the darkness around it, it will still read to your mind as dark because it's purple, because that's the most recessive, runs away from your eyeballs. Conversely, both of these intense greens, I can put like here on an area that's the green is much darker than the white next to it, but it works because the green masquerades as a light color. It comes off as, not to a certain degree, and I just crossed that degree right there. So let me paint with a rag. There we go. One question someone might have is, well, but when you're doing broken color, can you do a broken color on top of a broken color? And the answer is heck yeah. In other words, right now I'm doing green on top of purple. I put that violet down earlier. Now I'm putting green on top of it. The violet was a broken color and then got broken on top of broken. And that is, yes, permissible. All right, I think that's enough green. You with me? I'm going around the color wheel. So the next is a greenish blue. That is to say phthalo. I'm not going to clean my brushes, so there will be quite a bit of green. So it's a very deep aqua turquoise. I'm not sure which of those, never sure which of those two words to call it. I think I'll call this aqua. I've said to you before, I'm always, even like right now, I'm always worried that I'm overdoing this broken color thing. And indeed, I might be. I can't wait till I grow up more as an artist to know when to call, you know, good enough, good enough. Don't do so much of it. But usually what's happened so far is I do it worried that I'm doing too much. And when I come back and look at the painting later, go, oh, no, it's not too much. You see, it's just a whole speckled almost color. I certainly am adding just a lot of color to the painting, a lot of added chroma, and generally speaking, human beings tend to like, given the choice, our eyes would rather see more than less. All things being equal, of course, many times things are not equal. So many times there are mitigating factors. All right, that's enough of that. Theoretically, then, one more color and I'm done with a broken color. And I started at purple, went red, orange, yellow, green, warm blue, now cool blue, which is ultramarine, which of course is right back again next to purple on the color wheel. So I've gone all the way around the color wheel, at least theoretically. Now I can do anything I want. And of course, I don't usually, but I could do broken color in all kinds of browns and grays, and you know, that would be legal. I just don't usually go that direction. I'm more inclined to do more color, not less. Not muted tones, not earth tones. But it would be perfectly legal, so to speak, to do that. Oh boy, you guys are chatting up a storm and I'm completely ignoring you. Thank you, Super Ani. Thank you for filling in that blank. He's just literally a genius. Good for you, a tattoo artist just learning. No, Mike is not still painting. I don't know where he went. He bailed on me. Yes, green is murder. That's right. It's a window beside me. That is a window beside me. Yeah, cops are coming for green. Exactly. All right. Thank you for all your delightful chats. Fun, fun, fun. From all over the world. Isn't it funny? There's not many of us, but we sure are spread out. Okay, now that stroke right there I did on purpose. I plastered it because I knew I was going to come back and paint with a rag, diminish it. So once again, I have a rather pretty mid-tone blue. Never paint with your fingers. You know I say that every time I paint with my fingers. Never paint with your fingers. Quite a bright ultramarine blue, not at all subtle. pretty intense stuff here. But hang on, I'm not doing broken color right now. I find myself just pushing it mostly. All right, gang, I think I'm done. I've already signed this painting, by the way, so I'm, officially close enough to done. Whew. And I've already painted the edges, Yahoo. So that's it. I'm sure this is the last broadcast of the day. Oh wait, I just saw a place for a little stroke of blue right here, and this hose that's hanging around hanging on the fence post here. There we go. When in doubt, scratch. There's a mark here I don't like very much. A smudgy mark that's not very attractive. Let me try to fix that real quickly. Still not happy with it. Getting there though. All right, I'm going to call it quits. Uncle, my knee hurts too, but it hurts, well, it's just a passing thing. Nice shot of the bald head there. I suffer no delusions as to how bald my head is because I see it on a very regular basis on my videos. Unlike some bald men who you wonder if they know how bald they are. The answer to me is yes, I do. All right, been a great, fun week with you guys. So we're having a sale this evening. I hope somebody will buy. If anybody wants to offer, I said the price I'll put on this is $700. And I've got several little sketches too. I'm going to play music during the sale, but I'm not going to broadcast, so sorry about that. You'll hear me play eventually, I'm sure. Tomorrow is my mother's 95th birthday. Isn't that great? She is a delightful woman. So we're getting on the ferry tomorrow that's the only way you get to this island is by boat, plane, or plane, ferry in this case. And going to Greenville, North Carolina, where my mom lives with my sister and brother-in-law, and celebrating her 95th birthday. So that'll be fun. Sunday morning, our crazy crew will be back out in downtown Raleigh. And then I hope to be back in the saddle maybe Monday. I might take a day off. That would be good, wouldn't it? After a very intense week of work. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching again. Appreciate it. Standing, yeah, sit. Any tips? Michael is have a stool. Sit down periodically. I certainly do that. All right. I keep acting like I'm quitting, and then I come back and make one more work. That's it. I'm done. Bye. Love you. Bye.